What's better, Roth 401k or traditional 401k? Even if you don't have a 401k because you have a 403b, 457 or TSP, this video is about whether you should invest in Roth or traditional employer-sponsored retirement account, just so that we're on the same page. A traditional 401k is used to make contributions with your pre-tax dollars, so it's the dollars before taxes are taken out. A Roth 401k is used to make contributions with your after-tax dollars, so it's the dollars after the taxes are taken out. Another difference between a Roth 401k and a traditional 401k is how you withdraw the money. If you withdraw money from a traditional 401k before you turn 59 and a half, you're going to owe a 10% penalty and ordinary income tax on the entire distribution. If you withdraw money from a Roth 401k before you turn 59 and a half, you're going to owe a 10% penalty and ordinary income tax, but only on the earnings and interest that accrued inside your Roth 401k, but not on the contributions you made because you already paid taxes on them. However, you can't just choose to take out the Roth contribution inside your 401k early. There's a thing called the pro rata rule that will apply to your early withdrawal. For example, let's say you have $500,000 total investing in your Roth 401k, and if you contributed $200,000 in Roth or after-tax dollars, and that $200,000 accrued $300,000 in interest and earnings, you have 40% in Roth contribution and 60% in earnings and interest, right? So let's say you're not 59 and a half, and for some odd reason, you want to withdraw early from your 401k, which is not a strategy I'm using to retire early. Using the pro rata rule with 40% Roth and 60% earnings, if you withdraw $10,000 early, $4,000 of that would be tax-free because that's your Roth contributions, but $6,000 of that would be penalized by 10%, and the IRS would charge you ordinary income tax. If your marginal tax rate is 24%, you would owe $1,440 on your income tax and $600 for the 10% penalty. So essentially, you would owe $2,040 out of the $6,000 in earnings and interest, or 34% in taxes and penalties. I'm not planning to withdraw early from my Roth 401k or TSP because the penalty and taxes, even with the pro rata rule, will be too much. And the other thing I want you to keep in mind is the required minimum distributions, or the RMD. The Secure Act 2.0 President Biden signed in 2022 removed the RMD for Roth 401k. For the traditional 401k, Congress increased the mandatory withdrawal age from 72 to 75 starting in 2033. The RMD is now 73, which started in 2023, and then it's going up to 75 on January 1st, 2033. If you're already 72 years old in 2022 watching this video, you will have to start taking minimum distributions. So what comes down to how to choose between Roth versus traditional is when you want the IRS to take its cut from your retirement. So what I'm going to do in this video is discuss when it's the right time or scenario for you to contribute to your Roth 401k, and when it's the right time or scenario for you to contribute to your traditional 401k. Another thing to keep in mind is that with the Secure Act 2.0, your employer match or any employer contribution is considered traditional or in pre-tax dollars unless you elect to have your employer contributions made Roth. And this new rule is effective immediately. And from what I read, this is not mandatory for every employer. And I haven't seen it with the TSP. Let me know in the comment section down below if your employer allows you to choose a Roth employer match in your 401k. You just have to remember that if you choose to have the employer contribution in Roth, you will be responsible for the taxes of that employer contribution in the same year. And before I go into these 401k scenarios, you should check out my brand new website designed by Kaira Patrick from Fiverr, who did an amazing job redesigning my website. And you can schedule your free 20-minute financial coaching session by visiting firesearch.com/coaching. I'm also launching a new live stream program on my channel, which will include live Q&As, group coaching sessions, and private coaching sessions about the FIRE movement, stock market, real estate, and any current events in the world. With the private membership program, you'll have access to my private Facebook group and schedule one-on-one private coaching sessions to discuss your financial independence journey. You can check out my YouTube channel for more information about the private membership program. Now, when does it make sense to contribute to your Roth account or your traditional account? If I'm in my 20s, 30s, 40s, or just decades away from my normal retirement age at 59 and a half, then I would consider a Roth contribution over a traditional 401k. This is my personal opinion, so you can let me know if you feel differently about it in the comment section down below. I believe the marginal tax rates will go up in the future with a declining birth rate and decrease in government revenue from American workers, and because of the rise of retirees and there are more baby boomers retiring from the workforce. I don't think the government would have any choice but to change the tax system. Could I be wrong in the future? Absolutely. But do I want to bet my retirement on that? Absolutely not. Even if I'm in my 50s or 60s, I would still consider my Roth option if I'm looking to earn more in a higher tax bracket in the future. If you're about to collect your Social Security retirement pension, you have to keep in mind that the pension you receive is taxable by the federal and sometimes the state governments. If you're a military retiree, federal government retiree, or state government retiree, or you receive some type of pension from the private sector, the pension income you receive is taxable by the IRS. You should calculate how much you'll owe in taxes the day you start receiving your Social Security pension and how that's going to affect the cost of your Medicare B premiums in retirement. Having a Roth account would reduce your overall taxable income during retirement, but having a traditional account could increase your taxable income because the distributions from the traditional account are taxable as well. The other factor is that if you're in your 20s, your income is typically lower than those in their 30s, 40s, or 50s. And I would take advantage of the low tax bracket and pay the taxes now, so I don't have to later on in the future. So if my marginal tax rate as a single person is at 12%, making $45,000 a year, then the dollars I contribute to Roth would grow exponentially. Eventually, I'm gonna reach 22%, 24%, or even 32% in the income tax bracket because ideally, my income is supposed to go up, right? And let me just show it to you because I'm a very visual person here. And let's just say my average income is $50,000 a year in my 20s, and I contribute $5,000 a year to my Roth 401k every year for, let's just say, 5 years. And I'm just gonna show the 5 years of Roth contributions here, starting at age 23. Those $25,000 over the course of 38 years with an 8% annualized return will eventually become $400,000 in tax-free dollars at age 60. Personally, I think it'll be more than 10%, but I'll get yelled at in the comment section below because a lot of people are really bearish about what happened in 2022. Just imagine how much more money I could enjoy tax-free if I continue to contribute to Roth every single year. And you can also get my financial independence resources, including the compound interest spreadsheet I just showed you, for absolutely free by visiting firesidechat.com/contact. You should also check out my Fireside Chat shop to check out the books and equipment I use at firesidechat.com/shopping. And the other common question I ask myself is if my tax bracket will be lower in retirement than it is now. I'm pursuing Fat Fire, so my income is going to be even higher going into my 40s, 50s, and 60s. And that's why the Roth makes sense for me. But high income earners who expect to maintain their income and spending standards going into their retirement should consider using Roth so that they can pay the taxes up front. The goal is to minimize tax liabilities as much as possible during retirement. But if you're close to your retirement age and your tax bracket is going to be lower than what you have now, then contributing to a traditional account might make more sense. I strongly encourage you to reach out to your local CPA or someone who can plan your finances or retirement to find out if you're doing the right thing. But keep in mind that with the traditional 401k, you do have to take a required minimum distribution that I mentioned before, or you'll get penalized by the IRS. The RMD is there to make sure the government gets its cut because you elected to pay your taxes during your retirement. Another option you have is to contribute to both Roth and traditional 401k at the same time. The 401k contribution limit for 2023 is $22,500 or $30,000 if you're over the age of 50. You can contribute to both Roth and traditional as long as you don't exceed the personal contribution limit. And I know people who elect to contribute 50% to Roth and 50% to traditional to lower their taxable income. It's really up to you as long as you have the taxes figured out for your benefit. What really comes down to between Roth and traditional is Do you want to pay taxes now or later? And if you want to know more about how to start investing in your 401k and retire with 7 figures, be sure to check out these 2 videos. So with that said, I appreciate you watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one.